Canterbury is a beautiful and historic city. There is something special about learning about a place that you arrived at on foot. From its old and spectacular cathedral to its literary history, Canterbury pretty much had it all. Early in the morning, there was almost no one out and about, so we got to see the cathedral gates and Old Town streets without too many people. By mid-morning, however, the streets were full of cars and people. On the way into Canterbury, there was lots of pubs and a sprinkling of tea houses, all of which had character positively spilling out the door. There has been a town here continuously since the Iron Age, and Celtics gathered here until 43 AD, when Romans invaded Britain. The city was then adorned with Roman walls, temples, bathhouses, and theaters. Roman culture thrived until the 400s, when they left. In 587, the Pope sent St. Augustine to southern England to re-establish Christianity. 603 saw the rise of the first British archbishop and the first Canterbury Cathedral, which sat in the same spot as the present Canterbury Cathedral. During medieval times, Canterbury played host to a thriving economy based on the trade of textile, like wool and leather. Unfortunately, the Danes captured Canterbury in 1011 and burned it to the ground. When William the Conqueror invaded England in 1066, the Normans built yet another Canterbury Cathedral, which was up and running by 1105. Things ran somewhat smoothly in Canterbury until the year 1170, when Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Becket, was murdered by the Knights of King Henry II while he prayed in the cathedral. King Henry II traveled from London to Canterbury in repentance for the death of his friend, starting one of Europe's most traveled pilgrimages. In 1538, the practice was abolished by King Henry VIII. There isn't much medieval history left in Canterbury, despite the fact that the pilgrimage is still traveled. This spot has been fought over for 2,000 years after all. In World War II, Canterbury was a big bombing target because of its cultural importance. There is still tons of history, including medieval buildings, ancient churches, assorted ruins, and, to top it all off, a breathtaking cathedral. It surprised us how many old buildings were being used for modern purposes, but it was cool to see fast food restaurants and pharmacies in such old buildings.
Tiny Tim's tea room.
Molly and I are having high tea at Tiny Tim's Tea Room. Comes with 4 half sandwiches, 2 giant scones, clotted cream, butter, jelly, and then some sweets. And of course tea. Pablo's having a sandwich.
There was a lot of international influence in the culture of Canterbury that we hadn't really gotten to experience in the villages we'd been staying in.
And look what they think of us. American candy shop. It's like, look at cereal. Chocolate syrup. This is what we have shared with Toro.
St. Augustine established the first cathedral on the spot in 587. Refurbishing of the Canterbury Cathedral began in 1070 under Archbishop Lefranc. The western crypt was built shortly after that, in 1098. Just over 100 years after the Norman invasion, the cathedral was burned down by a fire. Three years later, Thomas Becket's murder made the cathedral a pilgrimage destination.
When they saw that we were here as pilgrims, not only did they let us in for free, but they escorted us in.
"1540 saw the dissolution of the monastery connected to the Canterbury Cathedral.
So this is actually the area where he died.
The Church of England established a chapter there just 1 year later, in 1541.
This is a military regiment area. Look at all the flags.
In 1175, the choir and much of the cathedral we see today was rebuilt following the fire. Thomas Becket's body was moved to a shrine in the new Trinity Chapel in 1220. By 1498, the cathedral was completed in the form we still see today. Before the Reformation, the church was part of a Benedictine monastery and was known as Christ Church, Canterbury. In 1538, King Henry VIII's knights destroyed the shrine to Thomas Becket. It is theorized that his body was hidden by monks, but no one knows where it is now.
The single candle is where the shrine to Thomas Becket was for centuries, until Henry VIII ordered it removed.
In 1954, the library was rebuilt following severe damage from World War II bombings.
I'm always fascinated by the worn down steps. Think of how many pilgrims and others have come up and down these steps in the past 800 years. Now we're down in the crypt.
This is the Canterbury Pilgrims Hospital of St. Thomas. It says it's open to visitors, and we're going to explore that at a later time, but right now it looks closed. So they're going to open this door so that we can go to Mass. And there it is. We're here for the evening service, which is called Evensong. We're very excited. It sounds like there's going to be a boys' choir. It's going to be beautiful. This is the Evensong. It's at 5:30 every day. We're having dinner tonight at the old Buttermarket Pub.
This pub was located on the old Buttermarket Square, which used to host, surprise surprise, a butter market. Charles Dickens's regular visits to this water market as a child are said to have inspired a scene in his novel David Copperfield. We liked the food here so much, we ate there 3 times.
There's a lot more to the cathedral complex than just the cathedral. It's like a little walled-in city back there, with ruins, monuments, and a hotel.
We're not sure what all these arches are that are old. They just say private. This is the back of the cathedral.
So there's the castle of Canterbury. What's left of it, which isn't a lot. And here's the Castle House Hotel, where we are staying.
So this is our room at the Castle House Hotel. It's nice because it's actually a room for 4. So this is kind of a double-sized bed. And then Molly has her own area over here.
The years and years of history in Canterbury make it a very interesting place to visit. We were really glad to have parts of 3 days to see the sights. Layers of history meant almost every building was unique, and the variety of old and new establishments was astounding. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.
That is the Royal Museum and Library. I just dumped coffee down my front so I could get this video, so it better be good.
Are you laughing at your mother's
They're laughing at me because
misfortune?
I just spilled coffee on my front.
That was probably 10 pence worth of coffee at least.
Just did that.